Many thanks to Temple Emanu-El for hosting us tonight with an opening message. Please help me welcome Rabbi Jeremy Rupert.
Friends, thank you for inviting me. On behalf of Temple Emanu-El, we welcome you here to our beautiful space, and also want to say thank you to all of you for being here in support of Jewish Family and Children's Services. I promise rabbis have a notorious reputation for speaking too much, so I'm not going to do that, so hopefully this is memorable. My parents are both Jewish educators, and they always taught me that one of the best divrei Torah is when you teach or talk about something that could be eternally useful and not just for the week's Torah portion. So I want to share with you something that I think is apropos to this evening as we talk about the amazing volunteers, volunteerism, professionals, and all who involve themselves here at this amazing institution. There is a famous rabbinic and Hebrew saying which says, "Hamachil b'mitzvah omrim lo gemor." One who is involved in a mitzvah, who is in the act of a good deed, in doing a commandment, we say, finish the job, go ahead. Go all the way through. It's sort of like in baseball. If there's a pitcher who's having a great game, they're pitching 7 innings, they have a no-hitter going, or they're just looking strong, the coach will say, keep going, take it home, no closer, take it all the way through. Friends, JFCS, every one of us here, all the volunteers, all of us have been involved in the mitzvah of chesed, of kindness, and doing God's holy work. And I know that for a fact that all of us feel that those of us who are involved in this holy work want to see it continue going. So the question is, how do we get more people involved? Hamachil b'mitzvah. We want to get more people on board and more people to finish the job. But first, tonight is about saying thank you to all of you who have begun the mitzvah, who have started the process, who continue to do God's holy work. And with that, I say to all of you, Hamachil b'mitzvah, omrim lo gemor. May tonight be an evening where we look back at all the successes of the past year, celebrate what we have done, and look forward to more mitzvot, more kindness that can be done in the year ahead. Thank you all for hosting me on behalf of Rabbi David Seth Kirshner, who sends his extended regards and his condolences that he couldn't be here, as well as Cantor Singer and all the leadership of Temple Emanu-El. Again, welcome, thank you, and Yishar Kochechem.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rabbi, for your thoughtful remarks. Yasher Koach. It is with great joy that I introduce Susan Greenbaum, Chief Executive Officer of JFCS. The agency is beyond lucky to have Susan at the helm. Her passion for the essential work of JFCS is evident in how she handles every issue, how she communicates with staff, clients, lay leaders, donors, and how her compassion and professional perspective are always her guide. Personally, I'm beyond grateful for our partnership. As you come up to present your remarks, Susan, on behalf of everyone connected to the agency, thank you for all you do every day.
Thank you all so much for being with us this evening. Sorry we couldn't do better with the weather, whether in person or virtually. It is always a daunting task for me to reflect on what took place in the life of JFCS over the last year, accurately and respectfully, and to acknowledge all who participate in fulfilling our very special mission, day in and day out. Why is this task so daunting? First and foremost, it's daunting because all of the work of our frontliners and all of the staff and volunteers who support them, by definition, represent engagement and involvement with people who are at their very most vulnerable, possibly ill, depleted, needy, lonely, isolated, afraid, and sometimes desperate. And this is difficult work. Each day at JFCS is unique. This past year has been 52 weeks worth of unique days, with staff listening to each different client or patient with a full heart, with social workers coming up with a plan, often including the dedication and love of a volunteer, affecting an individual or an entire family in one or multiple life-changing ways, and working those therapeutic and healing and transformative relationships with that individual or family over weeks or months or years. The year 2021-2022 could have the caption, very gradual exit from a global pandemic that has left every single one of us changed in some way. In a recent proposal for funding for mental health and family case management, our own Jessica Fleischer, where's Jessica? Our own Jessica stated that while we often hear a narrative about all of us living through a mental health crisis, especially our youth ages 8 to 18, at JFCS, we think instead that everyone, us, our clients, our children, and our elders are experiencing a collective trauma reaction. This reaction is manifesting in schools, in our homes, in our workplaces, and on our streets, in our synagogues and schools, and in our JFCS treatment rooms through an interplay of adults, children, and systems that have endured a protracted and ongoing trauma and really can no longer function exactly the same way that we did in the past. None of us is quite the same. Over the past 2 years, JFCS staff have developed and grown our capacity to deliver our programs and services to more families than ever before, holistically, helping in a variety of ways: psychotherapy for some, food for others, housing assistance, arranging home care or housekeeping, emergency assistance, coaching for job hunting and employment, other resources and linkages in the community, all delivered by highly skilled and warm staff who truly listen. And then they offer a plan of hope and of safety, strategies for healing, a brighter future, a better quality of life. For us at JFCS, a dramatically changing mental health landscape has necessitated our clinical staff to be ever more nimble and creative to keep pace with a more complex mix of mental health challenges than existed in the past. Critical case management is delivered by our senior services staff to hundreds of seniors who are saturated with loneliness and fear, but because of our work can remain in their homes safely and well-nourished and feeling deeply cared about and connected. Many families and individuals suffering from food insecurity were just starting to get their feet back on the ground, but are now coping with rapidly growing inflation, mostly at the gas pump, an unavoidable expense if you want to get to work. And anyone who took advantage of the moratorium on mortgage and rent payments during the pandemic is now facing that additional financial stress. We are so grateful for the emergency funding we've received from Federation this year, and we are privileged to be the conduit for FEMA funding as well from the federal government. Just imagine the scenario where a mother, the victim of domestic violence in the throes of divorce, struggling for custody of her 3 children with no financial standing, technically eligible for assistance from FEMA for housing, but too fearful of intimidating her husband to complete the required documentation. Enter Federation emergency funding. In addition to the corner market, mental health services for the children, and the mom, all delivered with the warm hand of family case management and psychotherapy. Sometimes the first call is from a school referring a child. It could be 10 or 12 or 14 or 7. A child who seems sad and is suddenly not doing well in school, and in the first meeting with our clinician talks about his fear about coming to school. This child is just filled with the news of gun violence all around us, and with the lockdown drills in school, and in his very first therapy session speaks about how much of his time is devoted to thinking about how not to die. The first step is psychotherapy for this child with the participation of the parents who are understandably so upset, so that they can all work together to find peace and health. Eventually, the parents find their way to a parenting group where they can share their fears with other parents who are also struggling, just because the parenting landscape has become so complicated. The call may come from a frantic daughter describing how she's caring for her terminally ill husband and is now faced with her elderly father's very swift and surprising decline. And with the almost instantaneous intervention of one of our senior case managers, the elderly father receives a few hours a week of home health care. Transportation to and from doctor's visits are arranged for him, and his daughter is matched with a therapist who will provide her with much needed emotional support. Or the 40-year-old dad who suddenly lost his job, has 4 children, one of whom has special needs requiring multiple types of therapy, and whose wife will now explore employment for the first time in 10 years, as well as daycare options, as both she and her husband work with our relaunch program to retool and get back into the work world. In the meantime, emergency funds to help cover the child's OT and speech therapy, in addition to FEMA assistance with 2 months of mortgage, will help sustain them. These are all real scenarios. Each scenario is different. Each situation has a different outcome. Every case is about people like us, our neighbors, our friends, our family. And every relationship begins with the staff at JFCS listening with a full heart, creatively troubleshooting with sometimes multiple layers of staff in differing disciplines, crafting a plan, providing support throughout, connecting with other help and systems, promoting growth and independence, and, God willing, a healthier and happier future. So how does one properly acknowledge and thank the people who do this work? And how does one properly acknowledge and thank the leadership and donors, staff and leadership and donors, all of you, and funders who lead and enable our blessed team of professional support staff and volunteers to do what we do every day? It is daunting. As you look through the annual report that you can pick up this evening, you'll see charts and read about metrics, all of which I am truly proud of. We are improving the lives of more people now in more ways than we ever have. Each year we become more creative and successful in our grantsmanship and our ability to raise necessary funds. Our engagement and prominence among social service agencies and the 3 county governments with which we work is always increasing, and we labor to maximize these relationships at every opportunity. So for me, this annual meeting is my opportunity to stop, check where we are, critique how we're doing, and pray that we as an agency continue to go from strength to strength. Do not be concerned by my flippant, personal, introspective exercise. Please trust that strategic thinking and planning permeate our culture. It's not all about feelings. Strategic thinking and planning permeate our culture at every level of staff and leadership, every day of every month and every year. These functions, in tandem with meticulous financial management and oversight, are what enable us to answer every call and deliver a suite of essential programs and services with grace and warmth and smiles and love. These tenets enable JFCS to be the mental health and social service safety net that our beloved community truly deserves. So please, I need all of you to join me tonight and all year long. I want our staff to stand, please, in thanking the incredible team at JFCS to whom I am deeply grateful. All of our staff, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to my leadership, Rachel, my amazing president now, but my forever friend, our executive committee, our board, and all of our committee members. Thank you all for giving me the privilege of leading our staff, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for your wisdom, generosity, and trust. This labor of love with which we are all intertwined is truly humbling. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. I'm excited to invite the team from State Farm Insurance to come forward for a special presentation. Many thanks to everyone who participated in the State Farm Neighborhood Assist poll by voting online in support of JFCS. Please join me in welcoming Anna Kim, State Farm Insurance Agent, along with Lillian Reyes, Anita De Silva, Sam Valadi, and Jeff Frediani, Government Affairs Coordinator.
I'm so thrilled to be here because this is so special to me. I'm a local agent right here in Closter, right off Harrington Avenue, and I live in Norwood. So when I heard that JFCS won this grant, I was so thrilled. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to share in your excitement. So about this $25,000 grant, this past February, State Farm accepted 4,000 applications throughout the country to focus on supporting communities that are in need and the organizations who support that. So out of the 4,000 applications, we had to narrow it down to about 1,000. And then from that, they narrowed down further to about 200 finalists, and I'm sure you were all involved in voting those 10 intensive days where we actually counted, there were 88,000 people who were involved in the actual testing of the votes, and the total votes were about 2.1 million votes. And it really speaks volumes that JFCS received enough votes to finish the top 100 out of 4,000 applicants. So congratulations. And this organization is really the ability to earn enough support to win this grant demonstrates the strength and the commitment that you have for our community, and as well as the passion to help the neighbor in need. And you know, as our CEO spoke this evening, we're just very thrilled that we could contribute to your wonderful works that you do for the community. And of course, the amazing staff and the volunteers and supporters who help make this corner market food pantry where this grant will go to a success. And at State Farm, we believe all people deserve the support that will help them lead a healthy and successful, fulfilling lives. I know that the food pantry supports one aspect, but I know you're involved in so many different aspects of our community to make everyone's lives better. So with that, we are extremely excited to present the JFCS with this $25,000 State Farm Neighborhood Assist check. And I would like to thank everyone for your excitement that you have shown for this amazing organization. Thank you so much.
Should we move down this way?
No, just go behind.
We need a really big pen.
Signature.
Pete, will they take this? How do we scan it?
There you go.
Yeah, probably like a little windows, I guess.
The two on the end, I'm sorry, just, if you can just go behind and poke your head. Poke your head. Keep smiling. Funny face.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How do we make this focus?
I'm back. Okay, so we really badly wanted to dedicate this evening to all of our volunteers, and so I'm going to speak a little bit about volunteers. First, let me just open with a quote from one of my heroes. Audrey Hepburn once said, "As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and one for helping others." I love this quote because it's so simple and just makes so much sense. In years past, we have designated a volunteer of the year. This year, we chose to recognize all of the many volunteers who contribute their time, energy, and heart to our agency. You would be amazed at how difficult it is to appreciate volunteers at JFCS. It seems that volunteers are of a particular ilk. They want to spend their time meaningfully. They understand that help is needed by many, and they are selfless volunteers, are only interested in helping to meet those real needs. Appreciation luncheons and events never seem to hit the mark. The occasional t-shirt or tchotchke is nice, but never necessary, according to our volunteers. They seek us out as the agency where their time is highly valued by staff and leadership, of course, but more importantly, by the clients with whom our volunteers interact. So this evening, we wanted to publicly acknowledge and express our deepest appreciation to our dedicated and extremely committed volunteers. I want to list for you the many jobs of volunteers at JFCS. Also, let this serve, and this is to the world, to anybody you know, as my appeal to you that we always need new volunteers. Within our senior services department, volunteers deliver kosher meals on wheels and Shabbat meals, providing both nutrition and a human connection. They provide telephone reassurance or friendly visits, and they participate in and help facilitate our Cooking Companions program. All of these volunteers have a hand in protecting our clients from loneliness and isolation, and many seniors come to depend on these daily and weekly routines. Also, volunteers attend Cafe Europa. Yes, Cafe Europa is meeting in person again, happily, where they help set up, serve refreshments, and most importantly, socialize with our survivors. In our food pantry, the corner market, our volunteers help stack shelves, pack bags, and deliver packages of food and toiletries and cleaning supplies to clients who can't get to us. Volunteers also pick up groceries from donation sources. Sometimes bar and bat mitzvah age children or entire school organization groups of young people become part of our army of volunteers when they choose JFCS and our clients to be the recipients of a chesed or kindness project. They may do food drives for the food pantry, pack mishloach manot at Purim, assemble stress packages or safety packages for seniors, or book bags for children in need, or they may design their own creative project with our help. Volunteers provide their time and service and deep caring of others to JFCS and our clients, and we all are eternally grateful to each one of you. Whether you are a lifer or somebody with limited time who keeps in touch just when available. You, our volunteers, are gallant, patient, compassionate, and kind, flexible, generous of heart and soul, and very, very dependable. We could not do our work without you, plain and simple. And all of us on staff and among our lay leadership want you to know how deeply appreciated you are. So everybody, again, please join me in applause and recognition of our indispensable JFCS.
The tireless dedication of the Board of Directors and its collaboration with the professional staff is instrumental to JFCS's success. Tonight, we acknowledge with gratitude the board members who are stepping down to join our honorary board. We're delighted to present them with a token of our appreciation, which is a beautiful plaque which reads, "To be a leader is to be able to tell a story of hope that gives us the courage to build a more just and generous world." To honor Sue Ann Levin, please welcome Paula Shaman.
Hi there, everybody. I'm here tonight to honor my dear friend Sue Ann Levin as she steps off of the board this year. I had hoped that she would be here for me to introduce, but lucky for her, she's off traveling. I guess I am a little jealous. I'm lucky enough to have built my friendship with Sue Ann over the past 20+ years while we built our volunteer careers with Jewish Federation and here at Jewish Family and Children's Services. Sue Ann really stepped up and showed her strong leadership skills as president of JFCS of North Jersey. Since the merger, Sue Ann brought her wisdom and understanding of community needs to the forefront of our new agency. But her real strength has come as chair and co-chair of the development committee as she worked diligently on helping to build the annual fund and our many, many galas. I'm thrilled to hear that she will continue on the development committee, even though she's not on the board right now. Sue Ann, I hope you are enjoying your travels, and we thank you for all of the wonderful things that you've done for JFCS, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
I feel like this is the Oscars. We're going to accept this on her behalf. Thank you. Okay. To honor Diane Seiden, please welcome Shira Fierstein.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to do the millennial thing and get off my phone. I have the honor of speaking about Diane. It's really with great pride and pleasure. Diane has been on the board since 2005. Just some of the committees that she did serve on: marketing, public relations, emergency aid, camp committee, Night of 100 dinners, and part of the Wolf caregiver event. I first met Diane when I joined Night of 100 Dinners Committee. She was so welcoming, smiling, and so happy to have somebody give of their time and efforts. Diane was particularly fond of hosting dinners so that she could always be an ambassador for our agency. Diane has always given her whole heart to the agency, and I do mean heart. As board members, we are privy to many actual cases of individuals and families, such as you heard tonight. Always anonymous, but we really do hear what goes on and what comes to the table. We are all affected, but especially Diane. She's often the board member who says, what else can we do? What more can we do? What else can we do to help? Diane is always pushing us to get the word out to the community so people hear the stories of the people we help, the difficult situations and of families and individuals, but also the amazing work that the agency does. Diane, we are so appreciative of your years of service and dedication to JFCS. We're lucky to have had you, and we hope to continue to your involvement. Your knowledge, commitment, hard work, and of course your heart will be missed at board meetings, but we look forward to your continued support.
To honor Suzette Diamond, please welcome Michelle Welikoff on behalf of Debbie Harris.
I have the privilege of reading Debbie's words for Suzette, and I'm speaking in the first person as Debbie. I wish I could do this in person, but I did not want to miss the opportunity to honor Suzette Diamond as she leaves our board. Suzette has served on the Wheels for Meals, the Night of 100 Dinners, and the development committees. She co-chaired our successful annual celebration for many years, and ultimately served as chair of the development committee, a position she held with dedication until today. She has also served as vice president on the executive committee for the last several years. Suzette embraced her responsibility as a board member and leader with seriousness, generosity, and compassion, learning as much as she could about the agency and engaging thoughtfully in every issue brought to the board. She works as a true teammate with our incredible professional development staff, from the big picture to the small details. What is most impressive and moving to me is her embrace of her role as ambassador of the agency. Suzette never misses an opportunity to talk about JFCS with everybody she meets, to make sure that they are educated in the vital work that we do, and to bring them enthusiastically into the JFCS family. It is a very important job for a board member, and her commitment to it and passion for it should serve as a role model for all of us. Suzette has been a dedicated leader in many community organizations, but I know that JFCS and its missions hold a special place in her heart. For that, we are grateful and have no doubt that it will remain with her for a lifetime. And as a personal, Suzette, thank you so much. You will definitely be missed, but we're not letting you go. So, here, why don't we take a picture together?
Proud.
I am delighted to have the honor and opportunity to honor Barbara Bender. Barbara, it has been a pleasure getting to know you during our time on the board. We first met at the agency merger as you were a member of the JFCS Bergen Legacy Board. Always lovely to chat with ahead of the meetings. It became so apparent to me that you had a deep interest in JFCS's success. Your professional experience and business acumen consistently offered important insight into the conversations of the Budget, Finance, and Audit Committee. Your interest in supporting the agency was shining on the Development Committee, and as you helped the agency work towards understanding the most beneficial real estate decisions, that was driven by your thoughtfulness and keen perspective. I'm hopeful that you will remain a presence in these important areas of agency work, and I'm so grateful for your ongoing generosity to JFCS. Thank you for your service to JFCS Bergen, and of course, these past 5 years to JFCS. To honor Jeff Rotenberg, please welcome back Susan Greenbaum.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Jeff Rotenberg. Sometime in 2016, I got a call from Jason Shamus, and when Jason calls, I always answer right away, asking if I would speak to one of Federation's donors who had some questions for me about JFCS. When I reached out to Jeff Rotenberg, even during our initial phone conversation, it was clear that Jeff has a special place in his heart for the mission of our agency, making an association to the comprehensive network of Jewish social services that existed in his hometown of Montreal, where he was born and raised. Jeff is a child of a Holocaust survivor, incredibly well-read on both Jewish topics and topics of the world, the father of 2 lovely young men, one of whom has his birthday today, and that's where Jeff is tonight, celebrating that birthday. Retired from a successful business in direct mail and marketing, and just an all-around mensch. Jeff quickly became a loyal volunteer delivering kosher meals on wheels and began consulting with us on marketing materials. When our marketing meetings eventually devolved a few times into silly uses of Yiddish words and phrases, we always knew it was time to end the meeting, right, Michelle? As fellow children of survivors, he and I also share a knowledge of Yiddish, although Jeff's is way better than mine. Whenever Jeff and I meet, it invariably ends with him saying, "What does JFCS need from me?" This is any professional's dream volunteer. In 2020, my answer was, "Please come on to the JFCS board," and he did. Jeff served on our real estate committee and will continue to, and is on call for consultation by our marketing team at any time. Albeit Jeff's board tenure has been spent mostly entirely on Zoom, his engagement with and his support of JFCS has grown exponentially during these past 2 years. Jeff is stepping off the board for now, sad for us, but we are so grateful for his service. And we know that his generous support and his invaluable input will continue. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you.
At our March board meeting, we elected the 2022-2023 Board of Directors. As I call your name, if you are here, please stand. If you are on Zoom, please wave. Our returning board members elected to a 2-year term: Sima Kern, Sue Feldman, Helen Graff, Andrew Kent, and Sue Nagler. Our returning officers elected to a 2-year term: Debbie Harris, immediate past president, and myself. It is a special honor to be able to welcome our new board members. Ariel Beowitz, who began his affiliation, Ariel Beowitz, who began his affiliation with JFCS along with his family through the bike ride and has been a member of our business, finance, and audit committee. Rich Feldman, who has been delivering KMOW for 20 years and who has also been very active planning and participating in the Wheels for Meal Cycle. Lindsay Foreman. Lindsay has been a member of the Programs and Human Services Committee for 2 years, and her family is also active in planning and participating at the bike ride. David Singer, who along with his wife Marcy have been involved as members of the Programs and Human Services Committee for the past 2 years, and as a little anecdote, has been a very treasured friend of mine for 30. I declare all the duly elected board members and officers installed. I'm privileged to sit at the board table with all of you. I need my glasses. As I begin my 3rd year as JFCS president, it's a strange feeling to know this is only the 2nd time I've led a meeting in person. I'm excited tonight as the stepping stone to resuming meetings in person and appreciate the opportunity to share some thoughts with you tonight. I always like to begin our board meetings with an expression of gratitude. Tonight, there are so many to thank and so much to be thankful for. As Susan thanked the staff so graciously, I'd like to echo her thoughts. On behalf of the board and all of those the agency serves, thank you. The staff, your steadfast dedication through the vast challenges of these COVID years is remarkable. It is you, the staff, who comprise the woven strands of the JFCS safety net for our community. In ways large and small, it is you who makes the agency a professional, empathetic resource for our neighbors in need in Bergen, Passaic, and Hudson counties. Thank you. Our board is comprised of such thoughtful and insightful members whose focus is the enhancement of the agency and its work. Your time and devotion is invaluable. I'm grateful to sit alongside of you, and please God, starting in September at the same table. The range of the agency's work is comprehensive, and so many individuals and organizations deserve thanks and acknowledgements. I'm happy to say there are far too many to name all specifically. So to each committee chair, committee member, donor, sponsor, community partner, and friend, please accept my deep appreciation for your collaboration, your enthusiasm, and your positive influence at JFCS. There is one person I would like to take a moment to recognize individually. Many thanks to Dr. Michael Goldberg, who created our DASH program, the Dental Assistance to Survivors of the Holocaust. Michael has led and grown this program since its inception. On behalf of JFCS, we thank him for his significant contribution of time and effort and wish him well in his retirement from this position. To our volunteers, tonight's earlier message from Susan only highlights how important you are to JFCS and our community. I'm inspired by your unwavering effort to always help all of those in need. Thank you. A very, very special wish, a happy 5th anniversary to JFCS. Since the merger in 2017, I am so proud of how we've grown. In every area of our operations and our services, JFCS has become bigger and better. We are more impactful. We are more strategic. We're working with a 2022-23 budget of more than $11 million, which will allow us to help more people. Of course, the bittersweet element is that there are more people in need and they need more help. More is a key word for JFCS. The more we grow, the more we need to do our work. More people, more financial support. It's no surprise that strategic planning is essential to our success. We're entering the 3rd year of the JFCS strategic plan that was developed as part of the Preside initiative, which we had participated in immediately after our formation. It's a remarkable document and a resource that has helped shape the agency these past 2 years by defining the goals and objectives to maximize our ability to meet our mission. It has been amazing to see how the JFCS staff has continued forward, adapted to meet and even exceed our goals in a COVID world. Currently, the professional team is undertaking the process of revisiting the entirety of the strategic plan to best support the agency going forward. As lay leaders, volunteers, and donors, our help is instrumental. We must ask ourselves, to best benefit JFCS, what is our strategic plan? How can we do more? What more do we need to do? And I believe our strategic plan has 2 fundamental elements: what we need to do now and what we need to do for the future of JFCS. Now, we give. We give generously of our time as volunteers, perhaps delivering meals, assisting at Cafe Europa, being a friendly visitor. We give our time as committee members, helping to plan the Wheels for Meals Ride to Fight Hunger, on the Business, Finance, and Audit Committee, providing fiscal oversight, or on the Programs and Human Services Committee, offering a lay perspective on the provision of services. Perhaps we grow our volunteer committee work into board involvement, as our 4 new members did. We give our time to leadership. I welcome and encourage you to join us and give in these meaningful ways. Knowing you're making a difference in an individual's life is deeply gratifying, and the personal reward you feel in helping others is unmatched. Now, we give. We give financial support. We donate to the annual fund. We respond to a direct mailer. We attend the celebration. We send a tribute card in honor of a friend, Simfa. These gifts fund the agency's ability to provide essential services today. Our second strategic step, we plan. We plan for the future. How? We plan for the future by supporting the JFCS Foundation and through legacy giving. The JFCS Foundation, as it is now known, was originally established by the legacy JFS Bergen Agency. The goal of the foundation is the continued growth of an investment portfolio to provide income in an ongoing manner long into the future. In addition to the original value of the foundation's investment, we have a newer endowment specific to one of our 4 pillars, mental health services. It's our goal to establish endowments in each of our other 3 pillars: older adult services, basic needs assistance, and food insecurity services. The income generated from these investments will be an annuity for the agency, sustaining the provision of our critical services. I say it often, to give with a warm hand is a lesson I've learned from my parents and my grandparents. Seeing the impact of your philanthropic dollars is a uniquely satisfying experience. Recognizing the current financial environment, donating or establishing an endowment today may be a bit challenging. And hopefully, as we move towards more solid financial ground, it can be a more comfortable opportunity. Another way to ensure financial security and sustainability of JFCS for the future is through legacy giving. JFCS's mission is important to you today. That's why you're here. That's why you volunteer. That's why you donate. Establishing a legacy gift of any size offers financial support to the agency in perpetuity and doesn't impact your current cost of living. It's an acknowledgement of how important JFCS has been to you during your lifetime and is a way to maintain and memorialize your connection to the agency after you're gone. There are different vehicles for designing a legacy gift, and I encourage you to speak with Michelle Welikoff, our wonderful Chief Development Officer, to discuss what fits best into your long-term financial planning. In the Broadway musical Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda as Alexander Hamilton defines legacy as, quote, planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. The joy of a JFCS legacy gift is you know how your gift will be used. You know what those seeds will reap as they continue to grow in service of our community and our mission too, based on Jewish traditions and values, strengthen and enhance the well-being of all who call upon us by providing professional and compassionate human services to effectively meet life's many challenges. There is more to do so we can help more people. Please join me in pursuit of this strategic plan to support JFCS today, sustain JFCS tomorrow, and I think that's an ideal legacy. Lastly, I give my heart and my thanks to my family, Andy, Lauren, Matthew, and Tracy, and my mom, Arlene Herman, for their love and unending support of my endeavors. And as I have these past 2 years, I'll end our meeting with the JFCS prayer, the prayer that acknowledges our gratitude for reaching special moments in our lives. Without question, we are grateful for navigating the challenging waters of the past 2 years and look forward with optimism to a healthy and bright future for ourselves and our community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achayanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this special day. Thank you all for joining us this evening. On behalf of the entire JFCS family and from me personally, I wish you a safe and joyful summer filled with everything that makes you happy alongside the people you love the most. Meeting adjourned and good night.